Happy Monday. It's raining. I'm pretty sure you can probably hear that in the background, but I really appreciate that it's raining. We don't have air conditioning in our house, and this weekend was pretty rough when it comes to, actually this whole week, this whole past week, it's been over 70 degrees in our house. And for an Alaskan, that is pretty warm. You get acclimated pretty easily here. At least I got acclimated pretty easy. I was here not even a few months, and I was already acclimated to the colder environment. In fact, I saw yesterday on my Facebook, or not yesterday, sometime this weekend, I saw on my Facebook, you know how it has on this day. Sorry, my dog is getting sick. She seems to be fine. Okay, so it said on this day back in 2013, I was complaining that the air conditioning in our house was absolutely brutal. Okay, she seems to be fine. So I was complaining that the air conditioning was absolutely brutal and it was way too cold. And the comment was, it should be 78 degrees indoors all year round. It's ridiculous. And I think the temperature was probably like 76 or 75. My husband and I were having thermostat wars, and he was putting it to cooler, and I would always push it back up to 78, sometimes even 80, just because 80 truly is where I was comfortable when I lived in Georgia. And I look back at that and I laugh now, because if it hits 70 degrees in the living room, I'm like, let's open all the windows, it's too hot. And I've got the fans running on full blast. And I think right now it's like 71. I have a clock back there I'm gonna look at. Oh, actually it's 69. So it's super comfortable. 69 is about, I'm wearing a light sweater, and that's more for modesty because I'm actually wearing a tank top underneath this sweater, and I didn't want to go on camera showing my bare skin. I know that's silly, but just today I felt, I think I will wear a sweater. So I'm a weirdo, I know. So anyhow, what did I do this week? This past week was a really productive week. If you've been following on Instagram, you'll know that I've been posting updates to my Easy Mesh cover up. I think it's the first time I've actually said the name of it correctly. So you will have seen on my Instagram that I've been posting updates to my Easy Mesh cover up, but you also may have seen that I've been kind of distracted. I get bored on projects pretty easily, so it's nice to have a large project and then a couple of small projects to kind of break it up the monotony. Especially with the Easy Mesh cover up, because it's the same pattern over and over again on the panel that I'm working. So I'm not shaping anything, and it's kind of like, so I decided I would do a knit cap. Well, I keep saying knit. I was a knitter, now I'm a crocheter, so it's gonna take a while for me to get out of the habit of saying knit. So I crocheted my first beanie. I've never crocheted a beanie before, and so I thought, okay, well, let me pull up a pattern. I pulled up a couple of patterns and I tried them out, and I guess the tension or whatever, it wasn't working for me, and the hats were coming out really floppy and funny looking, and so I kind of combined two, I think, or even more patterns to get the beanies that I've come up with. But I've linked the two patterns that I mostly used in the description box below so that you can have a look. I think it was multiples of 8 or something like that, but you'll see when you look at the pattern. So the first one I knit for charity. And this hat would probably fit a small adult. It's kind of tight on my head, see? It doesn't quite, I would have to, stretch it over my head, and it would fit pretty snugly. So I'm gonna do that. So to me, this is too tight because I like a looser hat. I don't like my hair crushed onto my head like this. So I wear like a large or even extra large hat, but I think this would fit a medium or even a small adult. The idea is to put it to a charity for homeless people or elderly. It'll probably end up going to elderly because I contacted a homeless shelter downtown Anchorage, and they've not got back to me, so I guess they don't want my hat. So I think that I will drop it off at a charity event at the local Methodist church or maybe a senior center. I don't really know. It's not appropriate for cancer patients because the filament that's inside of there, and I keep saying filament, I don't know what else to call it, but the reflective ribbon that's inside the fabric is kind of scratchy, so I don't think that it would be comfortable at all for a person who's undergoing chemotherapy to wear this on their head. I remember when my mother was undergoing chemotherapy and she lost her hair, she would grow hair in between the chemotherapy sessions, and even that stubble that was growing on her head, when caps would rub against the stubble, it would cause her pain. She actually wanted to like wax her head because she was sick and tired of feeling the stubble moving around on her very, very sensitive scalp. So I would imagine that this would be absolutely, absolutely awful. Now my mother crocheted as well, and she used, if you're looking to crochet chemo caps, and she used for her own head baby yarn, but not all baby yarn is made alike. She used the ultimately soft versions of it. She always used synthetic products. She never used any natural products. I don't know if that was because of her immune system or personal choice, but it's just something that stuck with me. So that was my talk about chemo hats. But this is not going to be a chemo hat. This again is going to go to the elderly or to homeless shelter. So the next I did was this little cap. Now this was the hat in a ball, I think. I'm going to pull the ball band so you can see. I keep my ball bands wrapped up in a cup now. There's all the yarns I'm using. Okay, so this was called Kepi One Ball Makes a Hat, or Kepi Sparkle. Now if you look at this hat, I have no idea whether or not they used 2 balls or not, but the ball I had is not at all, would not have made this hat. So it's a lot smaller than what I imagined in the picture, or maybe that child is smaller, I don't know. But this is the hat that I ended up with, and I like it. It's very pretty. It was really frustrating to work with because there's different weights of yarn, so I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be changing my hook, but it's really cute. I think my niece is going to like it. This is going to be my niece's hat, and I really, really liked the pattern that I used for this one. Now this one I just used one pattern, and I'll link that. I think I used the second pattern in the link, so I'll put in parentheses which one this hat was made from. But this is a half double crochet as well, and I intended to do a half double crochet ribbing around the edge, but it looked weird, so I ended up just doing a double crochet edge around the rim. That's it. It's not ribbing. But the yarn itself is pretty stretchy, so I think it's fine. And I know my niece will like it. I have another ball of that type of yarn, this Kepi yarn, which I'll be making another hat from. Just, I haven't found it yet. So let me show you my little thing I just had there. This is where I collect all the bits of all the ends. So what I do when I've got maybe just a couple of inches that's absolutely useless is that I chop them up into very, very small bits. Very small bits. I chop them up in some very, very small bits, and then I put it in I would go get it right now, but it's raining outside, so I don't want to get wet. I would put it inside of a bird feeder so that the birds can take the bits with them to line their nests. Now I chop them up into tiny, tiny bits because I don't want these yarns to get wrapped around their little toes or around their little legs or even around their little heads. So there's no way that any size bird is going to get this wrapped around their leg. So got it all chopped up in there, and they seem to like it because I put it out there and it's usually gone within a few days. And once this cup is full, that's when I go out there and I stuff it in the bird feeder looking thing. It's a millet feeder, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to show you one day when it's not raining. So then I had to stop knitting, or excuse me, I had to stop crocheting my beach or my easy mesh cover up because, or I keep saying cover up, it's not a cover up, it's easy mesh pullover. I had to stop crocheting it because I ran out of the cornmeal yarn, but we're moving to Arizona soon, and I really just don't want to tempt myself and go into a yarn store and buy yarn. So I said, okay, I will, look around and see if there's something that I can pull yarn from. And I did. I found this yarn, which is the rose colored yarn that I used in the bottom third. This was a scarf. I had it paired up with the worst, I don't know what I was thinking. I'll be right back. So this quite possibly was the worst pairing of a yarn. I have no idea what I was thinking. I paired this yarn and this yarn together. Just, it looked awful. I actually wore it out a couple of times too. I guess I was just very stubborn. But I looked at the scarf more and more and I thought, I really don't like it, and I'm only wearing it because, well, I put all that hard work into it. But it was definitely a lesson learned. This is a cool toned pink and this is a warmed toned pink. They do not go together. So this is going to be turned into hats with black pom-poms and black rims. So that'll be another charity project. But I can use this to continue in on my easy mesh pullover, which is right here. So there's not much to show you as far as progress goes. So here's my shoulder markers, and we're looking at the back. Now I'll show you the front. So the boat neck is about 2 rows lower. As you see, the back is a little higher, which is normal. That would fit properly across, a person's chest. So this is the back, and I started in with the rows, and so the back is going to be 1/3 cornmeal colored and then 2/3 rose. Hopefully I have enough rows to finish it, but I won't have enough to finish the arms. I just know I won't. So my dilemma is, do I fold it up, tuck it away, pack it, send it to Arizona, and just work on other projects, or should I use another color for the arms? Now this is I have no idea what color this is, but it's called Aran. This is the Aran, and then I have another more beigey looking Super Saver that I can use, and I believe I have even a green colored Super Saver that I can use. But I don't know if I want to do that because I really like the color scheme that I've got with this. It's really, really pretty. And then with the little cherry blossoms that I've added to the front, which I'll be taking out this hot pink yarn. It was a stupid idea. I'll be replacing it with black. So with the cherry blossoms that I have on there, I don't think that if I made a cream colored or even the Aran colored sleeves that it would work. But I don't know if I want to put it down either and wait until Arizona, so that's my dilemma. But this is really coming along nicely. The top is the perfect length, and I am looking forward to wearing this, even though we're going to be in Arizona. The idea of it is supposed to be a beach cover-up, so you're supposed to wear a bathing suit under this. Who knows what I'll do with it? I'll probably just wear it as a shirt with a tank top and a pair of jeans. I like it. It'll definitely be part of my wardrobe when I get to Arizona. And had we stayed here, I would have used it as a sweater. Maybe a turtleneck underneath it. So I love it, love it, love it. I'm going to fold this up and put it away. So that's what I've been working on. I've literally done nothing more than that. Oh, I can show you some of the tools I used. I'm not sure I showed you last time, but it's a pom-pom loom to make the really fluffy pom-pom. And it's actually quite fluffy. And I had to cut it a little bit to kind of get the I guess tassels, whatever you're called, the pom-pom, to have more of a round effect, because it doesn't make it perfectly round. You do have to give it a haircut. But you do wrap it really thick around it. I used the medium size for that pom-pom that I just showed you, and I had to wrap quite a bit. It was probably about 1 inch thick by the time I stopped wrapping. And then I had to get my husband to help me tie it really, really tight, because what happened was after I made it, I pulled one of the little flecks and it just came through. So I could only imagine that the pom-pom would absolutely come apart in the wash. So I had my husband really give a good tug on the yarn and get a good knot going to keep those fibers. But I even think that it's still going to come apart, so it's definitely going to be a hand wash. If you have a secret to tying pom-poms to where they're really secure and they're not going to fall apart, please, please share it. The other tool I've been using is, where'd it go? Oh. So these are tools. I wish I could tell you what this is called. Craft clips. This was awesome. These are little clips. I don't know if you could see that. I don't know if it focuses, but that is what it looks like. Sewing the brim on. I did not crochet this brim. I couldn't get it to be even, so I didn't crochet it onto the hat. I sewed it on, so there's a bit of a seam that this flips over. And I did I think this is called, I really don't know the name of this seam, but it's like slip stitch all the way over. So I don't know what that seam is called. And in order to get it evenly around to where it bunches evenly, it doesn't pull on one side or another, I use these clips to hold everything in place. Now this is the clips that I use for, or I intended to use for quilting. I've not yet made a quilt, but this is what I intended to use for quilting, and they really work for holding your knitting items together. So yay. That's it. That's all I've done. I hope you had a great week. I sure did. We are still in processing on our new jobs in Arizona. We've been looking at houses. We've been looking at communities. I really am excited about moving to Arizona. It is going to be a pretty big change, and it's a lot of change to happen within, what, a short amount of time. We've got to get this house ready for sale, which is not going to be hard at all. We had the new floors, as you know, installed. You know, I did a fresh coat of paint downstairs in the foyer, hall, and the office. The bedroom downstairs also got a fresh coat of paint. Upstairs, the paint really, I don't think, needs much touch up. My dog is in my lap. I am so sorry about what seems to be distraction. Anyway, that is pretty much it for my week. I'm gonna cut the video short now because my dog really wants my attention. We probably need to go outside. So I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great day. Please share your progress on your own projects in the comment below, and have a great day. Bye. Thanks for watching.